Good morning, everyone. Thank you. I'm Tom Edged. I will be presenting today's service along with Trinidad Linares. Tina and Steve are providing technical assistance. I want to also thank our greeter, Colleen, and our music assistant, Sophia. Please be aware we are recording this service and it will be posted on our YouTube page. For privacy, we do not record or post joys and concerns. Here at the Maumee Valley Unitarian Universalist congregation, our goal is to provide a welcoming space for people to come together to experience religious freedom, find a community, grow spiritually, and explore ways to make a difference in the lives of others. We draw on a variety of resources to provide stimulating and meaningful Sunday services. We encourage you to attend several services to gain a good understanding of who we are. For further news, please remember to read our weekly email, which provides comprehensive information about everything going on at MVUUC. Visitors, if you'd like to start receiving our weekly email, please make sure to fill out one of the blue cards found in the seat back pockets and put the card in the box on the greeter's table. And now, please take a minute to greet your neighbors. The chalice will be lit today by Matt. Woohoo! Please join me in reading the words provided for you as we light the chalice. We light this chalice with an open heart. We light this chalice with resolve. We light this chalice with tears still fresh on our cheeks. We light this chalice in hope, a tiny flame we nurture. We light this chalice with reverence for this place, for these people, for this time. We light this chalice with all our souls longing to be who we are, to be who we will become, to be ourselves. We light this chalice in self-love, in giving love, in holy love. Now is the time for the sharing of joys and concerns. Tina, please stop recording at this time. Recording again.
From the Teal Hymnal. It's number 1048. And it is in Latin. So quick pronunciation, because I have sung this before. Ubi caritas. Ubi caritas. Et amor. Et amor. Ubi caritas. Ubi caritas. Deus ibi est. Deus ibi est. That's it. We're gonna sing this through like 3 times. It's really short. Ubi caritas et amor.
Our opening words today are from the poet Balthai, a poem called Frank's Nursery and Crafts. The lines are long, and my mom insists that the final amount is wrong. The cashier looks at the receipt and insists that it's right. My mom purses her lips, looks worried, says, "It's not right." The line of white people behind us groans. My mom won't look back at them. We both know what they're thinking. Small woman with no knowledge of the way things are in America. Though year after year she makes flowers bloom in the hood, petals in the face of this land that doesn't want her here. Finally, a manager comes, checks, and tells the cashier she rang up 22 plants instead of just 2, overcharging us by $40. My mother holds my hand, leads me away without looking back at the line of white people who overhear and gasp, their sympathy won. If only I was old enough to tell them to keep it. It's not my mom's English that is broken. Most of you already know today's speaker, but for those who don't, allow me a more formal introduction. Trinidad Linares is a library associate at the Music Library and Bill Shirk Sound Archives at BGSU. She did her undergraduate at Rutgers University, where she was a double major in English and biology, finishing a senior thesis on the lyrics of Stephen Sondheim before then working full-time in a genetics lab. She has worked extensively in publishing, including children's nonfiction for Pharmaceutical Journal and for academic publishing. She now has a master's in popular culture from BGSU, having finished her thesis for that on the works of Agatha Christie. And she has spoken and written extensively in recent years on representation in film, television, and romance literature, with a big emphasis on race, sex, sexuality, and disability. So, please join me in welcoming Trinidad Linares.
I've always been thinking about Asian American women, by which I mean anyone who falls under the Asian Pacific Islander DESI American designation, and how they're seen in popular culture, because for most of my life, there's been a dearth of that kind of representation in movies, shows, books, and other forms of media. When they did appear, they were the China doll, dragon lady, or sex-starved creature. If you were lucky enough to live in an urban or suburban area, you got a newscaster. At least in my life, Asian American models were better, mainly because of people like my mom. As I became a mother and started paying more attention to Asian and Asian mother representations, anyway, during COVID, I read an article about someone who found comfort in K-dramas. She commented that their world was alien to her. For me, there were echoes of my experience as an Asian American in the West, because I never saw that in media here. As I started watching more Asian dramas, I only found better representation for Asian women, especially mothers. Can we get a slide change? Thank you. There are a few in America. Emily Kuroda has actually played both Mrs. Kim in Gilmore Girls and Mrs. Lee in Drop Dead Diva. Yet, like many Asian American moms in white-focused shows, she and her family are the side characters, so they only appear sporadically. Purna Jagannathan as Nalini Vishkumar in Never Have I Ever has had better luck since she's the protagonist's mother. As for films, Everything Everywhere All at Once has been the best example, because you have an Asian American woman who struggles as the dutiful daughter to her Asian father, the more responsible spouse, and the immigrant mother to her queer daughter. I really do wonder if the filmmakers did not fall into a racially into racially gendered stereotypes because the role was originally written for Jackie Chan. There have been films about Asian American women, mothers in the West, but I found many of them are in the range of trauma porn. Trauma porn is when horrible things keep happening to a marginalized character and they have no sense of agency. Their triumph is usually relegated to simply surviving the current set of horrors. Their marginalization is their greatest burden. It's not the minority status that is the issue. It's how society treats someone with that status. My ethnicity and my culture are not my burden, but racism, sexism, misogyny, and xenophobia do oppress me. Immigrant and Asian moms are often shown as the staunch guards of the patriarchy, while immigrant and Asian dads who benefit the most from the patriarchy can be indulgent towards their daughters. If you want to see how this plays out, you can watch the film Bend It Like Beckham, where the mom is helping the older sister with the wedding, while the main character Jess is helped by her dad to play soccer. Audiences are left to think that the dad is a nice guy for humoring Jess, while Jess's mom is stressed by plans for the sister's wedding, teaching Jess how to cook, which should be seen not just a feminine, but a life skill. And fending off neighbors' comments about Jess. A lot of emotional, mental, and physical work that women perform in their families starts in their childhood, and that cuts across nationalities. I will give Bend It Like Beckham credit for showing that Jules, Jess's white friend, also has a mother who's anxious about her future, while again has a father who looks like an understanding parent. I bet you $5 if Asian American moms got a flashback to their youth, it would show how they were threatened or punished for fighting back against the patriarchy, or that they had a choice to make to follow or be disowned. My mom has a degree in communications, but she was dissuaded from a writing career from her father, who also actually wanted to write. This repeated with my mom worrying that I would be out on the street with just an English degree. For the record, I did double major in English and biology, and while I have used both degrees in a professional capacity, my English skills have made me more adaptive to different kinds of occupations. That's why I didn't repeat this fight when it came to my kid, who is doing creative writing and linguistics. I did stress to him he has to figure out how the degrees work in the world. My mom is not arguing with him or me about this for this reason. It could be the fact that parents are softer on kids. I would argue it's the softer side of Sears, or the fact that the way that this society is in this world right now. So, although he is Filipino, I respect the comedy of other Asian Americans more than Joe Coy, because his comedy tends to throw his mother under the bus for white laughter. Both Atsuko Okazaka and Margaret Cho talk about the dark and hard parts of their lives and mothers, but in least respectful and loving ways. Even Jimmy O and Ronnie Chang are less condescending to their mother than Joe Coy. It's a broken slide. Okay. In Asian American television and films and books, we see rigid Asian moms who are barrier to their children romances. Yet popular Asian media shows better range. Yes, even mainland China shows have been doing work that can be seen as feminist.
赶紧趁热喝了吧。哎，我说你也真是的，出这么大的事也不打个电话回来啊，就这么蹦的一下回来才告诉我，你是想把你妈给吓死？
妈，您看我这一回来，您每隔1个小时就骂我一次，差不多了。
怕我骂是吧？那赶紧把身体养好喽，快点喝啊。
妈，你说，如果你跟爸结婚的时候知道自己不能生小孩，那你觉得爸还会娶你吗？
我刚刚呢也顺便问了一下中医师你这病的情况，珊珊没事的，妈相信你能怀上孩子的啊。
你都知道了。
我是你妈妈，你的身体出了状况，我当然要问个究竟才行哦。你们年轻人思想自由，你想啊，如果有一个男的，他只是为了传宗接代想要娶你的话，那你愿意嫁吗？
当然不愿意了。
就是啊，那你还担心什么呢？两个人在一起，不管有没有孩子，最要紧的呢就是好好的过日子，是吧？当然，能有个孩子那是最好的了。如果真没有的话，两个人在一起，只要能好好的过日子，做伴，不是也挺好的吗？
Yeah, we
再
can
说
stop it
了，
here.
孩子总是会长大的，就像你。
So Asian American mothers are also capable of this. My mom actually counseled me through one devastating breakup. So if you want an Asian mother who's understanding about you being queer, there are boy love dramas to watch. Boy love, or BL, is male-male romance. There can be physical affection, but romance is prioritized. Thailand, Japan, Taiwan, and the Philippines have BLs and mothers who support their queer children. The Philippines society is a matriarchy that was colonized by patriarchal colonies. So you have this weird machismo and misogyny suppressing a culture that is feminine and queer. My friend Richard Chu edited a book on this called More Tomboy, More Bakla Than We Admit, Insights into Sexual and Gender Diversity in Philippine Culture, History, and Politics. My mom argued with her friend to support her lesbian daughter. My mom also didn't have an issue with me dating an effeminate boy and then a queer one. When my son came out to the family, my mom and most of my aunts were supportive. One of them even said, "Welcome home." My mom probably runs more progressive and liberal than some immigrant Asian moms, but I don't think she's the only one.
Conservative attitude towards gays because mommy, I think everybody little bit gay. You know, if you have a friend and you like your friend so much you don't know what to do. This kind of gay. I think that everybody have this type of friend, you know, especially in college. There's very gay time. So many gay in college. You know, daddy have a friend like that. I tell you gay story about daddy. No, daddy is not gay. That's not what I said. No. You put the word in mommy mouth. But don't tell him I tell you. Daddy have friend, very good friend. This is in Korea when he's in college. Very close friend, you know. Close friend, you know. They so close, they go everywhere together. You know, talk about everything. So good friend. And then one day, they drive to countryside because gay, they like a picnic. They like eat outside, eat some kind of potato salad. They like so much. So they eat food and the sun was shining. And then daddy friends look at daddy. And he says, I love you to daddy. And daddy was shocked. Daddy don't know how to deal with this type of situation. Because daddy love his friend, but he cannot say that he love his friend because daddy was afraid that he's gay. So he cannot say that he love his friend. So then daddy punch his friend. And it was so awkward after. Because they have to clean up all the food and go in the car and drive home. And they cannot be friends after that. They is so terrible. You know, they cannot be friends. And daddy says he's regret his whole life that he's lose his friend because he's afraid. You know? So, moral of story is if your gay friend says to you, I love you, don't punch!
No, that's it. I was just gonna, you can go back to the slides. So singer-actress Lea Salonga has a fan base in both the Philippines and the US. Her defense of her son, Nico, who's trans, has given those in the LGBTQIA+ community joy and pushed others to be more compassionate. Leia is continually talking about her experience, and it shows her agency and moves the needle in a positive way because she's using her celebrity to reject the shaming of the queer community and their supporters. Some fans have even been emboldened to tell off homophobic fans who were criticizing Leia. So Asian mothers will feed you. That is a given. After one relationship in college ended, I took a trip to see my childhood friend Francis in Rochester, New York. He had an Asian girlfriend. At some point, we ended up in the girlfriend's family's house. And girlfriend was also Asian, I'm not sure what kind. But anyway, so when we got to her house, her mother handed me a bowl of noodles. That's the hallmark of Asian mother hospitality. A stranger unexpectedly comes to your house, you hand him a drink or a homemade dish, no questions asked. Here's the thing, there's fat shaming and body criticism in Asia as well. But the insidiousness of diet culture in America makes scenes with mothers feeding people and food seem so much more fraught with emotional manipulation. Yet it's sometimes a way of saying I love you without saying I love you. But a lot of times food is caring that you don't starve and your body functions properly. If you watch Asian movies or shows, there will be commonly scenes with mothers feeding their children and others as well. Usually it's fruit, nuts, or homemade meals. I've had many happy memories in childhood eating nuts or watermelon with my family. I've also taken an eating disorder test and scored a 0. And I grew up during the years 95-pound Kate Moss was top model. Another way that I was also made more resistant against diet culture was having a mom who loved different kinds of food and didn't hate her body. She has to watch her intake now because she's getting older, but we still talk about the foods we love. It's this love of various foods that I got from my mom that I tried to instill in my child once I found out that he had a life-threatening food allergy. I knew there would be places or situations that would make a restrictive diet impossible. When our child was little, we did end up in a seafood restaurant with no kids menu, and thankfully he was able to eat some mussels and some bread and other food there. If you look at an Asian market, there's a range of fruits, vegetables, starches, and meats in fresh, dried, and frozen states. Asian American fast food does not represent Asian food really well because the American palate tends to like food fried with lots of salt or sugar. Asian moms will fry, saute, steam, bake, and boil foods, usually with more than one vegetable or herbs to cook that dish. There's a Ukrainian saying, start cooking garlic and onions and then plan your meal around them. I would say for many Asian dishes, that works as well. I'm not saying Asian moms are perfect. You'll see negative representations of Asian moms in Asian media as well, because truthfully, Asian moms come in all varieties. My mom and I exchanged posts about Ming Na Wen mentioning her mother's difficulty in praising her. That's why she's happy to have fans. However, at the same time, we can see the supportive relationship Mira Nair has with her son Zoran Mamdani. Mira Nair was at the Cannes Film Festival for her film Salam Bombay, and she brought her mother. When they asked her mother who she was, she replied, "I am the producer of the director." This year, Nair has said, "I am the producer of the candidate." The goal of the talk is to expand how you see Asian American moms, and other Asians as well. The less agency or depth of character you ascribe to a community, the larger danger of them seeing them as people. And these are dangerous times when Asian American people have been kidnapped, locked up, or sent to countries, not deported because many have not had due process for just not really being white. My friend who's an Asian American woman gave a guest talk recently about the rise of anti-Asian laws in the early days of Asian immigration into San Francisco for history class. Even though her talk was simply about facts, she was nervous that some MAGA person would report her to the university because she works and lives in a red state. I misplaced my voting ID, my ID when I was voting, and I thought about how these mistakes have trapped Asian women and their families. We never wanted our irrational fears to become rational, but here we are. If you want to be a more active ally, Asian Americans Advancing Justice has an online training session this Tuesday, November 18 at 3 p.m. Strengthening our community ties is one way to protect us all and to work for a better world.
desert, through the deepest snow. Forward, always forward I go. What a journey it has been, and the end is not in sight, but the stars are out tonight, and they're bound to guide my way. When they're shining on my life, I can see a better day. I won't let the darkness in. What a journey it has been. Forward, always forward. Onward, always up. Catching every drop of hope in my empty cup. What a journey it has been, and the end is not in sight, but the stars are out tonight, and they're bound to guide my way. When they're shining on my life, I can see a better day. I won't let the darkness in. What a journey it has been. What a journey it has been.
Now, let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this church, which is important to so many of us. We gratefully dedicate this offering to the good of the church, the wider community, and the world. If you make automatic pledge payments, please place one of the yellow cards indicating this support in the basket. If you want today's contribution to count toward your annual pledge, please put it in an envelope with your name on the front so that we know who to credit it to. Our closing words today are from Mimi Park. I think the biggest difference between the way my mom raised me versus the way I am raising my boys is that I'm trying to be a less serious parent. I think the Asian culture's emphasis on respect for elders, parents, grandparents, teachers, friends' parents, sometimes creates an image of seriousness. Being respectful to your elders may mean you act a certain way to reinforce their authority and your obedience. Although my mom was not the most strict mom by Asian standards, she also did not allow herself to be fun and silly with me and my brother. She was always a loving mom, but I don't remember laughing, giggling, and moments of silliness from her. As I grew up and became an adult, our relationship changed. She became less serious, and now we giggle and laugh together like silly teenagers. I think it's important to teach children to respect and honor adults, but we need to let ourselves go and be fun and silly with our kids too. We can all use laughter in our lives. Let us carry the flame of the chalice into the world, serving others with love and a sense of justice. Join me in reading the words provided as we extinguish the chalice. May we respond better to risks and dangers with a beloved community who can be counted on as a woven basket that encompasses the gifts for protection, for honor, for ceremony, and for expressions of interconnectedness. May we prevail in our intentions to make a gift of the world to the next generations of beings living and non-living that help it all come together for good. Now, before our closing song, we have time for a few announcements. Come to the podium if you have an announcement you'd like to make.
Hello, everyone. Kevin McClooney, Membership Committee Chair. So next week, next Sunday, we're going to be welcoming a new member into the congregation. And I wanted to also invite anybody else who's interested in becoming a member to come talk to me. And you might be able to also join the community next Sunday if you're interested. And I'm happy to answer any questions. See me after service.
Hi, I'm Matt. Let's see, the t-shirts have been ordered and should be here in a couple weeks.
Thanks, Matt, for coordinating that. I have two announcements that are very similar. As you all know, we have wonderful Steve who takes care of our audio needs. We are very glad, but sometimes he doesn't want to come. You know, as great as we are, sometimes he's got other stuff going on. And so we could use one or two more people to learn how to do it. It's pretty easy to learn. And if you're interested in helping run the audio once in a while, it's not very often. Steve's pretty dedicated. So he's here most of the time, but every now and then when he wants to go away, we could use some help. If you are interested in learning that, let Steve know, and we'll get you a training and get you going. And along those same lines, our Zoom also needs someone to take care of it. We're always looking for one or two more people who are trained on it to occasionally take care of that when Tina or I or Kevin aren't available, or Megan. Thanks.
I'm Colleen, and we are 3 weeks away from our big chili cook-off. Yay! Okay, and you could be the proud recipient of our next championship medal, as modeled by Steve, the winner from our very first ever chili cook-off.
Using my Sainted Mother's recipe, I'm not sure anybody can challenge this, but Carla.
So we are very serious about our chili competition here. We are competing for bragging rights, and we take this seriously. So that this will be our third annual chili cook-off fundraiser, and that's going to be on December 7th. We could use a hand next week. We're going to do the setup for like decorating and tables and things next week on the 23rd after the service, because the following week, the 30th, we won't be here. There's the coffee hour in place of the service. So we're going to set up next time. And our goal, if you weren't here last week, our goal is to get a $10 donation for each of these. So these are going fast, but we hope that you'll participate in that. And there's more information in the newsletter and on the bulletin board. And the fellowship has just launched a new online community in WhatsApp. So if you are interested in finding out about those events, just let me know, and I can get you added to that group. So this is a way to find out about things like the chili cook-off, but also just more casual get-togethers like happy hour or meeting up for going to like a hockey game or theater at BGSU, just different things that we're doing in the community. So if you want to find out about that, so be honest, who has ever received the newsletter but not opened it? I mean, tisk, but or seen, I know, shameful, right? But this is a way to just get those events. So I'd be happy to set you up with that during the coffee hour. Thanks.
So this is a public service announcement, I guess. Anybody who is interested, BG Persist, in conjunction with Ohio 5501, are going to be organizing the Blackout Black Friday food drive and protest. It's going to take place from 11 to 1 in downtown Bowling Green, corner of Main and Worcester. And if anybody's not familiar with Blackout Friday, you could Google it, but it's a national protest encouraging people to avoid any consumerism between midnight after Thanksgiving on through for several days, to kind of give an impact to get people's attention that we're serious about changing what's happening in the country. So if you want to be there, the Raging Grannies will be there as well, so we'll see you there.
Good morning. I'm Susan. We had a meeting this morning, or a discussion group this morning, which was great. It was like a little focus group talking about visions of the future, things we'd like to see happen in the congregation. And one of the ideas, I mean, the kind of the culmination of the discussion was that if you have something that you would like, that you have a passion about, or that you would like to see form a small group or whatever, you're free to do that. You can, if you want to do, for example, a discussion on banned books, you can have it here at the church building, or you can have it in your home. It can be just one time. Maybe you have a passion for crafts and you want to just have a group meet one time and, do a craft. I just want to do a call out to everybody who's hearing this message that, yeah, it's great. Just make it happen. Tell us what you'd like to do, where you'd like to do it, and we'll get it into the newsletter. And it will be important to a lot of people, I'm sure, that share your passion. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
This is also Magic Day at NVUC. We've decided we're doing all card tricks today, starting at 1 o'clock out in the social hall. I don't know if you're aware of it, but we have a special guest here, the amazing Karen. Karen, the amazing Karen, would you stand up, please? There's Karen. She will be performing today, as will Clarissa, whose last name I can't remember. I'll find out. Okay, she'll know, certainly. And I brought my special AI magic gun, which is going to make some wonderful things happen, but you have to be careful not to, oh Hannah, I'm sorry. That wasn't supposed to happen. Oh my gosh. If you'd like to join us, Ruth, you're going to be there, right? Yay, hooray. We'll see you.
Oh, do we have one online? Thank you.
All right. This is from Becky Croak. Today is World Sanfilippo Awareness Day, which is the fatal genetic neurodegenerative disease that Becky Croak's 9-year-old grandson has. Currently, there's no FDA-approved treatment or cure. The Sanfilippo community has been presented with an opportunity to have an expanded access enzyme replacement treatment for 14 children in the world to receive life-altering treatment for type B, which is Simon's type. The big challenge is the community, must raise $3.8 million by December 1st to secure the manufacturing slot for this treatment, or the early opportunity disappears. As of yesterday, the families of kids with Sanfilippo type B have already raised $2.1 million. Donations go to the Cure Sanfilippo Foundation. Please share via email, social media, and word of mouth to go to helpsimon.com. Contact Becky for more information. Thank you.
You can also talk to me because I have more information as well if you want to know where you can donate.
That's it for the online announcements? All right, thank you. After the closing song, we do invite everyone to stay for coffee hour and for Magic Sunday. So thank you for joining us.
Most everybody in this room knows this song, but we're doing Go With the Song in Your Heart for the last song, and for visitors, it's just on the very inside cover of the Great.
Lost everything to you. You say you want to start something new, and it's breaking my heart you're leaving.